letting it bleed, making it cry. Up in the stars, time to fly.
Join on my team, drown out that pain. Streets full of hunger, chains feel like chains. Flexing the PJ, dodging the rain. Came from the struggle, switching the lane. Popo profiler, my dogs in a cage. Tat on my skin, seeing my rage. My mind spinning, demons calling my name. Turn off the TV, it's hurting my brain. Scroll through the gram, they watching the shine. Fake love, they standing in line. Red, blue divided, they hating our own. Cutting like knives, I'm in my zone. Still stacking high, inflation is raw. Grinding these shits, can't open the door. Young and catch strays as they play at the park. The world is a powder keg, he needs a spark. The system is locked, but they keeping us low. Send us to prison, we never gon' know. The world is choking, they drill for a bag. Ice caps melting, now look at they swag. Fight for our rights and still catching some stray. Equal to pay, we still getting played. Love getting hated, rainbow under attack. Lost trying to cage us, we pushing right back.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
World's on fire, can't take it no more. Vent, let it drip, let it pour to the floor. World's on fire, can't take it no more.
Please tap the screen.
The truth is the lie. Chains on my soul, but my heart's in the
Share the live. This is the backup account.
Chains on my soul, but my heart's in the fire. Back to the schemes.
You know how they do you on this app.
The youth, the lies spread. War on my screen. Love for the views. Kids see smoke, they don't know what to do. Don't take any
Lady
souls.
D, Ebony. Good morning, Kabira.
Holding tight. Hustle through dark. Finding some peace. Wait is coming. Catch and release. Fake news is spinning. The truth in the choke. Lies on the feed. The people in smoke. Losing their faith. No heroes, no trust. Dreams of the ashes. Grinding the dust. Hit the sky high and they sleeping. They whip. Eviction. Notice they losing their grins. Schools underfunded. The kids can't play. Texas outdated. They test anyway. Vent, let it drip. Let it pour to the floor. World's on fire. Can't take it no more. Vent, let it drip. Let it pour to the floor. World's on fire. Can't take it no more. Vent, let it slide.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show started. We got an abbreviated show today. Actually, it's going to be abbreviated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show started. We don't got all morning to do the Lord's work. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go!
It's deja vu when I'm running up these rats.
I'm like the Terminator
screaming, I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class.
You can tell that I made it, look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming how we made
Let's
it.
go.
This is what's supposed to happen when you get your famous. The algorithm turned me to a maniac.
Yeah, I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Let's go. There you go, Evan. We're on the backup. Please tap the screen, share the live. Uh-oh.
I say it with my chest cause I mean it. Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Woo.
Call me the master with a new.
All right, here goes. Happy Tara.
Take off in the space.
Zeus haters.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live.
That's a lie. I see you.
Yes.
Screen recording me. That's Ladybug.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Oh, cut it out, Ladybug.
It's like
Ray, who was it? Vegas.
It's
Demons.
Like deja vu.
It is.
It's like deja vu.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Once again, we are back at the Thunderdome. I'm your host. I'm your pilot. We are on the backup account. Seems like, you got to be careful of playing certain things on the TikTok algorithm. They'll get you for copyright violation. So we're on the backup account, all right, and we're going to rock out. It'll be like that until the 19th, all right? And then after that, we'll go back to the main account. But also announcement, this is going to be a very abbreviated week all the way up until Friday, all right? Because I got to shake and bake out here. Many of you, I got to shake and bake if you know what I'm saying, all right? I can't sit online all day, but I'm going to continue to get out here and fight these demons. Speaking of that, for those of you tuning in, this might be your first time listening to a host like myself. Who are you? I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I am honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. Nobody more honest than me. The second H is because, it's because I am humble. There's nobody more humble than me. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, which is arguably one of the most important H's of them all. It is truly because I am and will always remain. You've guessed it. What is it? What's the last H? I'm looking in the chat because Because there's, anyone know? What's the last H? I don't see it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Yeah, on the most handsome. Thank you. I'll love you to the chat because we got to make sure that's always understood. Thank you, JD. Thank you. No. Only one person can be handsome on this platform, and it's me. And you know what? I don't like to block people, but that is the one thing in this kingdom that you can do. That is the one thing in this kingdom that you can do to get blocked. Calling yourself something you're not. All right, and then I'm going to add another H, stands for honorable, because I'm definitely the most honorable person on TikTok, on social media, and it's all because I got something a lot of people don't, which is what an amazing amount of self-control. Yeah, a lot of people try to trick me into doing things. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is stay laser focused on saving this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his legion of MAGA demons who we all know are just totally MAGA. I don't even know if MAGA is still a thing. So many people online right now that used to be MAGA, they're going, oh no, I'm done with Donald Trump because this isn't the president that I voted for. He's changed. Yeah. And the reason he's changed is because Big Zeus. I've been on him for a while. And all of you in the chat, actually, all of you in the audience, listen, we have made a lot more progress than I have realized. And I realize we must stay the course and we must do everything we can to defeat this evil, demonic spirit that's ruining and destroying not just our country, but the world. Because I don't believe the United States can be blessed when you have a president that's a P3DO, that's stealing elections, lying nonstop, stealing oil, going around unaliving innocent people. You just can't be a blessed nation when you have a president that's doing that. And so we all must suffer for the greater good, but I eventually believe it'll work out because what the devil meant for evil, God can use it and turn it into good. Amen. And so with that being said, I just want to say this. If there are any Trump supporters in my audience today, do me a favor and leave right now because this show does get very uncomfortable for the MAGA species. I don't call MAGA human beings anymore. I call them species because they're a disgrace to the human race. Yeah. Leave right now because it's going to get very uncomfortable in here. I promise you it will. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Yeah.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay, too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
W Zeus. And with that, the doors to the Thunderdome, they've officially closed. And I take no responsibility for people's feelings that end up getting hurt. So what do I normally start the show off? Ever since Donald Trump decided to start a war with Iran, there's just one thing out there that just keeps. I know it works, and we're gonna make sure MAGA understands this. You can never come onto my show. You can never speak to me, MAGA, and act like this isn't a reality most Americans are dealing with. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about gas prices.
This is high. 469 is definitely one of the highest I've seen it, and I've been here 27 years now, so that's something to say. That's crazy.
Describe what you're going through for me.
Well, I just make sure that I focus to save enough money for the week to get to and from work instead of, or if I can, I'll walk to the store or take the light route if I can, if it's not hot, but it's going to be hot again. So, yeah. So those are some choices that I do make.
You hear this, MAGA? You hear this, MAGA? Gas prices, they're so high. They're so through the roof. People have to come up with creative ways to just get from A to B. I've heard people say they got to put the car in neutral as they get to a red light. Be careful out there when you do that kind of stuff, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a safety risk. People are saying they got to ride a bike. Now they're saying they got to walk. This is what MAGA has done to America right now, ladies and gentlemen. They literally hate themselves. They hate themselves. They hate their country so much. And then they send their daddy all their money. And then you know what still bothers me? It's Donald Trump profiting off of the dignified transfer of the soldiers that lost their life for a war that none of us have any real answers as to. Why did we go to war? We don't know why we're in war. We don't know what the objectives are. All we know is we're getting screwed every single time we go to the pump. And I had DJ up here. You saw DJ come onto my show yesterday. He admitted he's uncomfortable with the gas prices. And I thought about that conversation, not just with DJ, but Ray and Vegas. In Vegas, I drive a Mercedes. Gas has always been expensive. You weren't saying any of this under Joe Biden. No, the man couldn't catch a break. But now you're thriving with gas prices as high as a rocket. Higher than a rocket, actually. Higher than one of Elon's rockets. At least Elon's rockets come back. These gas prices will never come back. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire this morning. Because I love catching these liars and hypocrites and these demons out there in their real habitat, being nothing but the worst of the worst. And truly, ladies and gentlemen, the scum of the earth, join me in sending these demons. This is the first round. Join me in sending them straight to hell. Yeah. You hear that? You hear that, Ladybug? Come on in here, Ladybug. I got some more kibble for you.
Silence, you Maga
W. Zeus. Come on in here, Ladybug. I got some more kibble for you. I know you out there lurking in the shadows. Because you know when you're a MAGA demon, you can't come out into the light. You got to hide in the shadows. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? And rightfully so, because when you think about all the damage that these Trump supporters have done to the United States of America, the world, you just have to sit back and go, yeah, you're not wanted. You're not welcome. Your lifestyles portray that and represent that. You ever seen a Trump supporter happy? Has anyone seen a happy Trump supporter? You got your daddy in the White House. You got Congress. You got the Supreme Court, and you're miserable. That's because you put your faith and you put your trust in a man. You should have never done that. I keep telling these people, I learned it from Dick Gregory. You know who Dick Gregory is. He says, can't no entertainer, can't no politician save you, ninja. And MAGA actually thought, out of all the people on earth, they skipped past Big Zeus. I wouldn't have saved you. I would have told you, I can't save you. But they really thought Donald Trump was going to keep his word. How does anyone think a person that lies over 30,000 times is going to keep their word? Oh, I get it. As long as it didn't affect you, you were okay with it, right? How could anyone watch Donald Trump attack his allies like he did with NATO, like he did with Zelensky, and you did not mentally note that eventually that would happen to you? See, this is what the problem is with a lot of people in this country. That's why I say a lot of you should not be talking politics. You should not be talking politics because you don't know any better. You don't understand human behavior. You don't understand. It is the simplest rule. What goes around comes around. So it's amazing. We get these Trump supporters now, and listen, ladies and gentlemen, I have probably one of the dirtiest jobs, I realize. I actually go and follow, W's in the chat for Rick. I follow these Trump supporters in the wild, and I watch them just be some of the most disgusting, vile individuals, all right? But all of them are now singing the same song. You know what that song is? It's called Maga Is Dead. Unalived. They're all singing it. Let's listen to this Trump supporter, Owen Stroyer, ladies and gentlemen. And they just literally give Big Zeus a huge W. I don't honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how anybody on the internet is not keeping up with the people who helped to get Trump in office. Anyone that's still trying to say Donald Trump is doing a good job, they are out of touch with what's really happening, all right? Because these are the people that led those people down this very dark and dangerous path. And listen to this Trump supporter now confess that MAGA is no longer a thing. It's unalived. Listen up, Russian bears.
Cult members. We trigger the MAGA cult members. You just have to embrace this now. They're gone. They're gone. Okay? Now they've stated it. The only thing that matters to them is loyalty to Trump. You know, what's so incredible about this from just a basic psychological perspective, and I guess you could even say policy-wise, but this isn't even about policy anymore, and that's the proof, is that they don't care about policy. They just want to be loyal to Trump now. And so they've made the break. This is, to me, this is all really settled in the last 4 days. they've now made the break. They're now out here saying, well, I don't care about campaign promises. I don't care about war. I don't care about deportations. I don't care about Doge. I don't care about anything. All that matters is loyalty to Trump.
This is MAGA.
And that's all it has become. So it's a cult. So now they're just admitting it's a cult.
Boom. So this is a Trump supporter, ladies and gentlemen. Literally. I mean, these people must be coming onto my show, listening into the comment section, and then they go back to their platform and they literally are now repeating what Big Zeus has been saying. But they don't want to be a Democrat. But it's amazing how I've given birth to these people.
Now they're just openly behaving like a cult. And I've got that in the news today. They're calling for people that left the cult to be arrested. They're calling for people that left the cult to get sued, everything else.
You hear that,
so
Ladybug?
What happens when you leave the cult?
You hear that, Ladybug?
You're in a cult. They want to destroy your life. They want you imprisoned. They want you dead. But they don't even hide it anymore. So they've been called out so many times, like most recently, where in 2024, all of these cult members were against the war. They said no war in Iran. We don't want regime change war. Stay out of the Middle East. Now all of them promote it. So they got called out. So they can't deny that they're total frauds. They can't deny that they're total hypocrites. So now they just figure, well, in their eyes, I'm just on the winning team. I'm on Team Trump. So I really don't care if I'm a fraud. I really don't care if you call me out for the hypocrisy. I really don't care about any policy. The only thing that matters is Trump.
Is that true, MAGA? Let's just be honest, MAGA. This is a safe space. Ladybug, is that right? Ray, is that right? The only thing that matters is Trump. You don't care about none of those Epstein survivors. You don't care about high gas prices. You don't care about getting defrauded via the tariffs. You don't care about the border being open all over again. The border is pretty much wide open again. You don't care about none of that. All you care about is being loyal to the most incompetent, sickest human being on the face of the earth. MAGA, this is why it's amazing when folks on the right are now calling the people who are still supporting Trump cult members. That's what we've been doing. W to all of you in the chat, because we've been telling them this for the past decade.
And loyalty to Trump. So obviously most people can't relate to that. That's the least American thing you can do is to not be independent. It's the least freedom loving thing you can do is to join some weird political cult.
Facts.
But that's where they're at. They embraced it now. They have nowhere else to go. And they're outward and open about this.
They have nowhere else to go.
And you can see how everything's shifting into that, and Trump is kind of even embracing that a little bit. Here's what's so stunning to me.
Go ahead.
And this is why, we've kind of just re-entered clown world now.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite part. When January 6th happened, I don't know if you're here, Ange, Takesha, didn't I always say Donald Trump should go down in history, Guinness Book of World Record, for running the largest circus on the face of the earth? That's why I say these people are literally coming into the kingdom, stealing all this kibble that I've been serving up, and then they go out there and act like it's brand new. No, this isn't new to Big Zeus. All right, but go ahead. Try to serve it up to the demons out there. They need this stuff.
The world is back open. But now the right is running it.
Yes, I did, Ange.
Like we used to go through the turnstiles and get into clown world, and it was all the liberal progressives running around. And, oh, look at the liberal clowns. Now it's the MAGA clowns. So it used to be you go into the turnstiles, clown world opens up, and the horns and the honking and the pies and everything. And
look at Thomas Earl Jr. That's Ladybug, ladies and gentlemen, rolling their eyes. They even got me up on the profile. You see that? Super triggered. Yeah, Thomas, I'm wrecking your breakfast. Listen to this. You're in a circus, Ladybug. Wake up.
Liberal progressives running around. You're in clown world. Well, okay, clown world is back open, and you walk through the turnstiles, and now it's a bunch of people wearing Trump hats. They got the ear bandage on. And now it's just clown world is just run by MAGA-tards. Wow. So it's to the point for me where I just laugh. Now it's just funny. We just trigger these people. We just mog these people. It sucks. Our country is suffering. It sucks we've been betrayed, but this is where we're at. This is the timeline we're in. There's no going back.
You hear that?
I mean, we're in clown world with these fools. These fools are running clown world, folks. They've got all 12 of their MAGA hats on. They got their ear bandage. They got their giant shoes. I mean, even Trump, Trump, this is true. Trump is gifting members of his administration these, I guess it's like some fine Italian shoe. Looks like a nice shoe. And he doesn't know their size. So they're all walking around in clown shoes. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
This is a real story.
Yeah.
He doesn't know their size. So I guess he just buys all of them the same size. I don't know. They're all running around with shoes that are too big for them. I mean, this is the clown world that we're in. So they've all got their big shoes. They've got their pies are flying around, their white hats, their red hats, their black hats, their blue hats, whatever hat they got from Trump. This is clown world now. They're running clown world. So we're back into clown world. But okay, let me bring it home.
All right, fair enough. W's in the chat for Big Zeus. So I saw Ray. Ray, you came in and you asked who was that? That's Owen Schroyer. Maybe you didn't know this, but a lot of you on the right, you get your talking points from right-wing influencers that are, higher up on the food chain. He's one of those that are higher up on the food chain. You're low level. You don't get people to come onto your platform and listen to you, right? So you got to pay attention to what's happening downstream so that you can understand what adjustments you need to make, all right? And what he is doing is he's repeating the things that not just me, but a lot of us on the left, a lot of real independents and a lot of real Republicans have been saying that all of you that are still supporting Trump, you're in a cult. Now, he was in the cult too. He still might be. He got a lot of work to do as far as I'm concerned, but at least he's repeating what I am saying, all right, and drawing that line in the sand and saying, all right, enough is enough, all right? So not only are you in a cult, but he's actually gone as far as to say you're in clown world. And that I used to tell you all, Donald Trump is running a circus. Think about it. He puts on makeup every day. He puts a bird's nest smack dab on, because a clown wears a wig, right? So he has to put the bird nest. The ridiculous suit with the red tie, the shoes. He is a clown. And y'all worship this demon. But Owen is not the only person. He's not the only person. I got another Trump supporter. Who is this? Elijah Schaefer. Now, bear with me, all right? I'm not going to play everything because he says some very evil and nasty things. But you got to understand, when you're performing an exorcist, this is what I look at what's happening right now. We're performing a bit of an exorcist. The demon is going to say I should get something from the Exorcist movie to illustrate this. But the demon is going to say all kinds of evil and hateful things as the convulsions are, ignore the hateful stuff, but listen for those kernels of truth when he's in there and he's saying what's really happening to him. Because these folks are in pain. We got another Trump supporter crying out, MAGA is no longer a thing.
So now Mark Levin is MAGA, huh? Mark Levin, the never Trumper, who said that he would never vote for Trump.
Another demon.
But it was Mark Levin, Glenn Beck, who dipped his face in Cheeto dust. Remember that? And then you had Ben Shapiro, who would say, Trump is not the right.
This guy helped get Trump elected too. These are people who actively helped Donald Trump get elected. Now calling not just Trump out, but other people within the cult, within the circus.
Even in the last election, he tried to go with the Florida governor. He was one of the DeSantoids. So you got these three never Trump neocons, Zionists, two of which are Jewish, that now Trump is saying that's...
And listen, we don't endorse any of that anti-Semitism on this show. So I play this, ladies and gentlemen, because I want you to listen to how they're fighting amongst themselves, all right? And that's a huge W, Zeus, because we promote love, not hate.
Kill MAGA. Trump put out a giant tweet in response to Megyn Kelly owning Mark Levin, calling him a micro-penis Jew, basically, which is weird. He's got a little hat, a little dick. I don't really care about that. I don't think about Mark Levin's private parts. But, if I was a guy and a girl told me I have a little dick, they always say that. You just go, okay, and you move on with your life if you're secure. But now, Trump is saying Mark Levin, he put a whole diatribe that his neocon ideas are MAGA. And I want you to listen to that. I want you to take that to your heart, okay? Because when Trump, he is MAGA. He's right. He goes, I am MAGA. And he's gotten a bit prideful, you could say. He's completely abandoned his base. And those of us who fought for him with our freedom, a lot of people I know went to jail. I voted for him in the last election because I had an espionage wiretapping investigation going on for January 6th with the FBI. I wanted a pardon. My friend was going to go to jail for 5 years from January 6th. I wanted him to get pardoned, and we did. We got our investigations dropped. Trump did follow through with that, and I was hopeful in the beginning. We were going to get Matt Gaetz. We were going to take out the swamp.
Wow.
And then now, what's the problem? Now, when Trump abandons his base, he takes that money from Las Vegas, from that powerful, Zionist couple, and he puts Marco Rubio on, he puts J.D. Vance on, the Peter Thiel construct. He goes to war with Iran. Why? Because Israel attacked them, because Israel was going to get nuked, because Israel. They accuse us of talking about Israel all the time. That's all they talk about. And now I'm like, hey, Trump, you're not doing anything you said.
Oh, take another hit. Take another pull. That's a demon right there. Because, think about it. This demon is losing it. He has to pull on the cigar like that while he's crashing out about his loyalty to Donald Trump. I did everything for this demon. I went to the Capitol on January 6th. Well, why haven't you laced up your boots and gone over there and fought for your daddy in in Iran? Why haven't you?
Minnesota. You're not doing mass deportations like you said. He told all the Republicans to stop talking about mass deportations.
Yeah, he did.
Strike one.
Here goes.
Now he's, of course, what? Increasing visas for farm workers? He's bringing in more third world migrants and creating deals with India? If Costco isn't already crowded enough with all the Indians in there?
Stop being racist.
And he goes to war with Iran. That was his number one platform, was saying, we're not going to war with Iran. But now that we're going to war with Iran, you, Goyam, you're a stupid fucking loser, and you're not an American patriot if you don't support billions and trillions potentially of dollars in another multi-front war. Israel's already invading Jordan in a ground invasion. The U.S. is probably going to put troops on the ground in the Kharzog Islands. And in response, Iran already started attacking the bases and ports in the UAE, the energy infrastructure. And
you just notice they got like a high frequency now. They're crying. It's like they're crying. They're crying right now because they're coming to the realization that what Zeus has been saying the entire time. Why they got up on my platform yesterday and lied. They lied. They even showed the spreadsheet of the FBI nailing Donald Trump to the cross for those crimes he did against children. They tore their draws with all of us. And now, because they're hurting, why? Because the gas prices are high right now. You can't lie to people when they go to the gas station. Ladies and gentlemen, what? I only had $20 in my tank, my bank account. And then I went to the gas station. I didn't get that much gas. And now I'm negative $50. Because, and then there's bank fees that go with that. MAGA knows what I'm talking about. So you're getting hit with the overdraft fee. On top of that, you're getting hit with high gas prices. There's no coming back from this, MAGA. This is why you're getting cooked by Big Zeus this morning, W Zeus. But listen to this demon cry, because these are signs MAGA is over.
The international coalition that Trump called on, Australia and the rest of his countries, including the UK, are not sending ships to join this war. Why? This war doesn't benefit anyone. This war doesn't benefit us. It doesn't benefit the UK, it doesn't benefit Spain, it doesn't benefit France, it doesn't benefit any country, Australia. But you know what? Actually, it does benefit one group of people. It benefits Israel, okay? And I think you have to kind of realize that now. MAGA is Zionism. MAGA is Israel. MAGA is Ben Shapiro. So Caroline Leavitt come out today, the spokesperson.
The thing is, it's still delusion. He can't just get straight to the point and just say, I've been lied to. I'm the person that I need to be blaming. And this is another problem I got with MAGA. It's off the focus behavior. It's showing you still haven't grown, which is why even if you come to your senses, I don't follow you. I don't really listen to anything you're saying because I'm going, you got a long way to go in terms of your path to recovery. You just can't one day, I'm no longer picking up a bottle, or doing this, and then all of a sudden think you can lead a class in this. No, you got to go through the valleys. You got to go through the trenches. You got to be tested. You got to be battle ready first before you can actually get up here and ask Big Zeus to go along with you on these journeys that you're creating. But but this is just another sign.
Says, hey, you should join this war. You should join this war and support us. You know why? Guess what her reasoning was? Because
Ray, how are the mods blocking you? I can see you. All right, they're not blocking you. I see you.
Shapiro supports it. Ben Shapiro, who in 2012 wrote an op-ed about why we should support the Iraq war. Ben Shapiro, who's a Jewish Zionist neocon. Pat Buchanan warned us in 2004. He said they're going to put boots on the ground in Iran, that Iran is their crown jewel of the neocons. And the neocons and the Zionists are one and the same. Look, you don't have to be Jewish. That's why it's not about anti-Semitism. You can just be a neocon. You're still my enemy. And I'm going to challenge you guys this. If Trump said that he's MAGA, and he said that Mark Levin is MAGA, Ben Shapiro's MAGA, he said that Glenn Beck is MAGA, all the never-Trumpers, and those of us who literally almost went to jail, some of us even gave our lives, some of our patriots out there died.
This is my favorite.
Fighting for him, Yeah. Enrique Tarrio went to prison.
Oh, yeah,
right?
you did.
Joe Biggs
Look
went
at the
to
dog.
prison for extended
Cute
periods
dog.
of time to get Trump elected so that people could have a voice. And now that voice is what? It's Israel's objectives. So I'm going to say this. I'm off the MAGA train.
Right here.
If you are MAGA today, you are an enemy of the American people.
Boom! It took me so long, bro, for you to just get to my favorite part. Now listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Ray, ladies and gentlemen, please keep Ray there. Keep Ray there. I want to let her listen to this. Ray, listen to this. Now, this is a MAGA. This is somebody that helped Trump get elected. He's MAGA, but listen to what he's saying to you.
To get Trump elected so the people could have a voice, and now that voice is what? It's Israel's objective.
You see that sneaky finger?
So I'm going to say this. I'm off the MAGA train. If you are MAGA today, you are an enemy of the American people. I'm sorry.
You hear that? You hear that? If you are MAGA today, ladies and gentlemen, and that's a huge W. I didn't even ask him to come onto the box, tell me why you're supporting Trump, and do all of that jazz to him. I just let him just keep talking. How long did it take him to say that in this video, ladies and gentlemen? Let me see. That took him about a good 4.5 minutes. We had to suffer for 4.5 minutes before that demon eventually said something that we needed him to say. Yeah, he's off the MAGA train. W. Zeus. I mean, like I said, I have a very, very, very dirty job. I listen to these folks, all right? And I say, oh, you gotta, cry uncle, so to speak. And eventually they do, all right? They wanna sugarcoat it. They wanna dance around it, but we're not gonna let them get away with it. We got another instance this is on Piers Morgan, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday. Some of you may have seen it. This is the last one, and then we'll go straight to judgment. Ray, listen up, Ray, all right? Another demon confesses. Because, in the Bible, it says every knee shall bow. Am I right, Takesha? Every knee shall bow and confess, right? At a certain point, you got to do it. And what we're seeing is the signs of that.
I've been a loyal supporter of the president for almost 20 years. This goes back to when I was 21 years old and I was Miss California at the Miss USA pageant. And I've known him. I consider him a dear friend. And I will tell you right now, I do not recognize our president. I think that we are an occupied nation. I think that a foreign country has occupied our government. And we are seeing now that this president of the United States of America is being influenced by a foreign government. And MAGA, let me tell you right now, MAGA is dead. It is deader than dead. And Americans are furious. We do not recognize President Donald J. Trump anymore.
Oh, let me play that because I know, where's her? Ray, are you here? Please, ladies and gentlemen, please, I want Ray to listen to this. I want Ladybug or Earl Thomas, whatever you call yourself. I want you to listen to this. I want the Russian Bears to listen to this. This is the third person. There's so many more of these folks on X that I could play. She got to the point a lot faster. She only did it in 30-something seconds. But I want you to hear these words and let them ring true. Like they say, let freedom ring. You know that saying, let freedom ring. You know who said that. Listen to this.
Let me tell you right now, MAGA is dead. It is deader than dead, and Americans are furious. We do not recognize President Donald J. Trump anymore.
Any questions? Any questions? Any questions, MAGA? I've been right the whole time. You've been wrong the whole time. Think about that. You've been going the wrong direction for at least 10 years. And now we're at this point. You've ruined your relationships with your spouse, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, and the list goes on and on. You've lost good jobs you've had. You've yelled at people. You've made yourself a terrible person in your community. Blind loyalty, the churches, if you're going to church, they're in on the fraud with you. Other than that, most of the churches, if they were really respectable, they would have kicked you out. They said, no, I don't want any of that devil around here. And so Big Zeus is right. This is why my blood pressure was up yesterday, because I felt something when Ray got in the box yesterday, and I said, you know what? I'm going to let God take care of it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. And this is to remind MAGA that Big Zeus and all of you out there who really are truthful people, we've been right, they've been wrong. Join me in sending these demons where they truly belong. Don't send me, Zeus, please. Who are you, Zeus, to send? They say all this nasty stuff. It doesn't matter. Do us a favor and go straight to hell. huge W, Zeus. W, Rick. Thank you. It's with great pleasure. It really, yeah. So MAGA is no longer a thing. Anybody still worshiping Donald Trump, they're clowns. All right? It's like this. How honestly could you vote for somebody that says this about you?
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Like, seriously, MAGA. How could you vote for anyone? If you talk crazy to me, we're done. We're done. It's like, oh, okay, you on that type of time? All right, I guarantee you won't see me. Rick says both. If you're on that, okay. Only a fool, somebody that just hates themselves, hates their country, would actually think Donald Trump saying that is, oh, it's acceptable because he's not talking to me. No, he's talking to you. Remember, what goes around comes around. Now, let's go ahead. And speaking of that, let's listen to Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. Just show us all yesterday. I mean, we don't got to listen to all of this, but MAGA, this is why Donald Trump is the most incompetent president ever. Just listen to this. He did 2 press conferences yesterday. When he does that, when he does 2 press conferences, the game's over. All right? We're now literally in a parallel universe, so to speak. Instead of C-19, we're dealing with the Iran war. He's bitten off way more than he can chew. He's told Iran he's going to stop when they cry uncle. But everybody and their mama now know who's crying uncle. Who's crying uncle right now? Is it Iran or is it Donald Trump? Who's crying uncle now? Iran or Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen? And let's just ask a question in the audience. Who's crying uncle? Iran or, there you go. All of you who said Trump. Our allies, our allies are saying, why the heck would you go and get into some drama, or over there, and then when it gets too high, it's too thick, all of a sudden you want to, hey, can you come help me? I'm down the street right now. They trying to roll up on me and do something to me. Well, first of all, how did you end up over there? Didn't we advise you not to do that? Yeah. But I had to take matters into my own hand. Now I'm out here in a real bad, nasty situation. Is y'all coming or not? And they like, you're going to have to stay there. You the biggest, baddest thing on the planet, right? Yeah. You the biggest, baddest thing? Yeah, you got this. You got this. Why don't you get some of your soldiers that showed up on the Capitol that day? Why don't they come out there and help bail you out? Oh, yeah, I'm working on that, but it really mean a lot if you all could just get me everything, get everything, bring the nukes, bring everything. We got some smoke over here. And they like, no, you got smoke, Donald Trump. And so now Donald Trump is in full-blown panic mode, and the only thing he can do now is go in front of the cameras and try to convince those who are still in the circus to go along with him on this journey. And the more you use your critical mind and look at him and you listen to him, you say to yourself, this is dangerous and it makes absolutely no sense. And why is he on camera so much while the world is literally on fire? And the only answer you could come to is he's doing this because he is in deep, deep trouble. He sees the cult. Some of the members are waking up and they're done with him. He knows he's heading towards midterms. And the only way out, because he's a dog, you know what I mean? He's a dog. He only got one gear, is to lie. And what we're seeing, ladies and gentlemen, is Donald Trump putting that into overdrive. This is the only move he knows. Whenever you in trouble, lie. Hit everything the Bible says, don't do that. That's all he got. So listen to him just lying to his supporters.
The greatest thing to come out of this, we spend trillions and trillions of dollars on NATO to defend other countries. And I always said, but if it ever comes time to defend us, they're not going to be there. Many of them would not be there. And we're going to have to start thinking more wisely in this country. Some have been very good. 1 or 2 have been great. I'll tell you who the great ones are at the right time. But there have been some that were right up there, Peter. They were right up there. They wanted to do it so much. Go ahead, Peter.
Thank you. You were talking about Iran a couple times today and what they did after Epic Fury began. You said they hit Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait. Nobody expected that. We were shocked. Are you surprised that nobody briefed you ahead of time that might be their retaliation?
Nobody, no. The greatest experts, nobody thought they were going to hit. They were, I wouldn't say friendly countries. They were like neutral. They lived with them for years. Peter, they were going to take over the Middle East. They were going to knock out Israel with their nuclear weapon. But after we knocked out their nuclear potential weapons.
So he said he knocked out their nuclear potential. Go ahead and tell me what that means. What does that even mean? Oh, I guess that's what he says now after he obliterated it last year. Now it's just we knocked out their nuclear potential. Huh.
They started building missiles, thousands and thousands of missiles. And
they started building thousands and thousands of boom booms. So he knew they had thousands and thousands of these things. And he still chose to go tangle with Iran knowing this?
Going to do it with missiles while they developed. These are sick people. While they developed nuclear, somehow they were going to start at a different site because that site was, you saw the site, the mountain. They were going to go into a certain area, which we know exactly where it is, and they were going to do that. And
do what?
It's incredible what we've done. I tell you, the job we've done. Do you know?
Yeah, it's incredible that gas prices are sky high. This is just, he's not saying anything of value or of substance, right? To help explain to all of the people who are reasonable why they should commit resources to this area, whether it's your life or if you're a country. Why would you send assets to this area when this is the person making the decisions? He can't even speak coherently. Why would you entrust him with anything of value? And then behind him, you know, it's Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War Crimes. This doesn't make any sense.
If I didn't terminate Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, you would right now, well, Israel would be gone. It would be incinerated, and probably the Middle East likewise. And remember, they have all of those missiles.
So he wants me to believe that these land pieces, these land masses that have been here on the earth for millions and maybe billions of years, if that one sheet of paper that Barack Obama signed was still in effect, they would have instantly been wiped off the face of the earth. See, this is an example of a person that thinks way too highly of themselves. And if you read your Bible, you would know that, MAGA, that when you see people like this, you go the other direction. These folks are dangerous. Okay? You cannot serve two masters. Okay? And you know what I'm saying, MAGA. You can't serve two masters. And the Bible does say it very plainly. Pride comes before what? What does pride come before, ladies and gentlemen? Does anyone know the answer? What does pride come before? Does anyone know? Because this guy is right here, an example of that. Does anyone know what pride comes before? Does anyone know? There you go. A downfall, destruction. Thank you, everyone. Mighty fall. And this is and we are literally watching this play out with this demon right here.
And I heard they were sending missiles to UAE. I said, that's strange. You know, UAE is like the banker for Iran. They're like the banker. Qatar, their neighbors, they got along okay. Saudi Arabia. All of a sudden, Kuwait is getting hit. Bahrain is getting, all these countries are getting hit. There was no expert that would say that was going to happen.
Wrong. See, the problem is he thinks he can control the narrative. He thinks he can control Iran and how they react. He thinks he can control NATO. He can't even control his behind. He got to wear a diaper and maybe 2 catheters. If you can't control your behind, how are you going to try to control a whole country? This is some sick stuff. And I saw Ray, you said he had the balls to do it. You still think he got balls, Ray? That's crazy.
Question of like, gee, should you have known? And if we did know, big deal. I mean, we have to do what we have to do. But we hit them so hard like nobody's ever been hit. We hit them very hard.
And you know, this is the part when he starts talking like this, it makes me realize he did do something to those girls. Because he talks like a predator, doesn't he? He says things and you just say to yourself, like, I wouldn't have said it that way. But when you're a person that's used to taking what you want, it comes off that way because you can't hide it. I listen to people very intently.
And we've extinguished most of their missiles. We've extinguished most of their drones. We've extinguished most of the places where the missiles and the drones are built. We've fully extinguished 2 layers of leadership and probably a third, if you believe some stories. So we only have one thing, to have a little choke point. And they've used it very well for years, but it doesn't work. But I think this, if some of these countries that we've been good to for years, and maybe more important than that, some of these countries that get 90% and 95% of their energy from...
And see, you know, you sit there and you listen to this guy. Does anybody know what Donald Trump said, ladies and gentlemen? Because when I listen to this guy, I literally go, how on earth would anyone be so foolish? How could anyone be so foolish, ladies and gentlemen, to listen to this man? Oh yeah, I think I know one part that I wanted to talk about, because this is when I say he starts talking like a predator. I think is this the part when he talks about Cuba?
So it could be that we delay it a little bit. Not much, Peter.
When you say Cuba is next, is Cuba, whatever you do with the military there, it seems like something. Will that look more like Iran or Venezuela?
Can't tell you that. I can tell you that they're talking to us. It's a failed nation. They have no money, they have no oil, they have no nothing. They have nice land. They have nice landscape, you know. It's a beautiful island. I think they have great people. You know, I know so many people from Cuba that were treated terribly, and they're over here and they became rich. They're very entrepreneurial people, very smart. I know a lot from Florida, especially. There's so many people. A friend of mine started over with nothing. He's now the largest owner of gas stations in the country and stuff. I mean, Cuban. I also know, I was just with a fantastic person who's Cuban and made a fortune in sugar, you know, Fanjul family, right? And this family wants to go back to Cuba to visit it. They haven't been back in like 50 years or something. They largely come from Cuba. And we'll see what happens. They were asking me about that. They want to go back. Not only Fanjul, a lot of Cubans have said, oh boy, would they love to go back. I think Cuba, I don't know, it's in its own way, tourism and everything else. It's a beautiful island, great weather. They're not in a hurricane zone, which is nice for a change, you know. They won't be asking us for money for hurricanes every week. But I think Cuba see the end. You know, all my life I've been hearing about the United States and Cuba. When will the United States do it? I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba.
I'll have the honor of taking Cuba. Spoken like a true predator. Spoken like a true... This is predator talk.
That'd be good. That's a big honor.
Taking Cuba.
Taking Cuba in some form, yeah. Taking Cuba. I mean, whether I free it, take it, I think I could do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth?
That's what he said to those girls, if you ask me. This is how he talked to those girls.
Very weakened nation right now. They were for a long time. Very violent leaders.
Let me go back and hear that again.
Take it. I think I could do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth? They're a very weakened nation right now. They were for a long time. Very violent leaders. Castro was a very violent.
There you go. I'm done. All right, I'm on a time crunch this morning. Now I get to send him to hell this morning. I knew I was going to get there. He talks like a predator. And you look at his moves, he moves like one. You can try to say he didn't do what he did to those girls, but actions speak louder than words. Did he go to Venezuela and take their leader? Did he do that? Did he follow the law and do that? Or did he just go and take it? He went to Venezuela and he took the leader. He took their oil. Did he just go ahead and drop boom booms on Iran? And just unalive people? Did he just drop boom booms on the boats? He's a person that does not follow the law. He just takes what he wants. And now he wants to go do the same thing in Cuba. And then I'll have these conservative women come up here and tell me they need proof. Hey, you know the good book says, he who has ears to hear, let him hear. And You know, you got eyes to see, but you can't see, so to speak. Yeah, you see it, but your hearts are so evil and they're so hardened because you don't want to admit that you have been lied to. It's comfortable in that safe space of really following this man straight down the path of destruction. And since you love to go there, I don't have a problem sending you there. That's why I send y'all straight to hell on my show. If you don't love yourself or your country, why should I? Why should I exercise more discernment than you as it relates to your safety? Right? Because I really have been trying to help you. But we're at a point now where you don't want help. You just want me to do it. All right, fine, I'll do it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. This is for all of you Trump supporters out there. It's so crystal clear. This man is if he ain't the devil, he's a good runner-up in the human form. All right? And you still want to worship him? Well, then I ain't got nothing for you other than this. Go straight to hell.
Silence, you Maga Demon.
And that's a huge W. That's a huge W, Zeus. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I got a few more minutes, and then I got to get up out of here. All right, but I at least got through my monologue. Goodness gracious. Thank you, Aaron. All right, we're gonna open up the boxes, hopefully. No, I got to shake and bake out here, JD Cakes. You know that Big Zeus got to shake and. Wait a second. I don't even see the guest request. I don't even see the guest request. I'm on my back. You're unable to gift. All icons are gone. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. I can't even bring up anybody. I don't know what's going on. No, but I am on the backup account, so maybe that has a lot to do with it. Yeah, it doesn't even give me the option to do multi-guest, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I was gonna bring people up. I can't. I'm looking at it. Yeah, I'll repost it on YouTube. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen up. Screen orientation can be changed. Yeah, tools. Yeah, it's not available on it, so I don't know what's happening. Yeah, they're monitoring Big Zeus, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not, even though the numbers fluctuate. Yeah, there is no request to Keisha, even though I'm literally looking at it, and it's like normally it's an option here, and it would be there, but it's not there. Thank you, Nate. Well. Yeah, normally it would be there, but it's not there. So I'm assuming it is because this might be my first time using TikTok Studio, I guess, or on the backup account, but that could be why. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, since Zeus is basically cooked and booked this morning, TikTok, stop it. You're right, Tara. I should move to Cuba. I might move to Cuba, all right? I mean, listen. Wherever I go, I'll cook it up the same way, all right? But listen, ladies and gentlemen, Big Zeus does have to get up out of here. I want to give all of you a huge round. I'll be back tomorrow. Friday will probably be the full show. So we're going to just rock out like this, hopefully. I do apologize. I'll try to figure out where the multi-guest option went. I hope it's just something that's on this live, all right? But if it is, then, Friday we'll bring all the panelists back up. Zeus needs a girlfriend. You said the gifting doesn't work. I think the gifting does work. The gifting doesn't work. Let me see. I think the gifting works. Yeah, I've seen some gifting. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. I said the gift, Tara. Maybe you got to swipe out and then swipe back. Yeah, I don't know. I see it. Yeah, WVIP. W all of you. WPA. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow me on all of my social media platforms, all right? Especially X, all right? X is where I'm taking it to these Trump supporters, all right? I really do it, but I really do. Just type in, it's usually Zeus Triple H, but it's Zeus Triple H, and you'll find me, all right? Why would Comey hack them for Trump? Ray, remember, you have access to all of the same tools to learn as well as AI, all right? At the point you're at, in your learning and in your personal growth, it's great that you're curious and you're asking these questions, but you need to go one step, actually several steps further. It's obvious you're not going to trust any of us because it's too scary. It's really scary for you to come to the same place a lot of us are at with Donald Trump. Takesha told me, she said, Zeus, you shouldn't hate anybody. And she's right. I reluctantly said that she's right, but I'm not there yet. I'm a certified Trump hater. And when I thought about it, and I said, what commandment hasn't he broken? If you are that kind of a person, right? What commandment hasn't he broken? He's literally every day breaking them on a regular basis. I don't love a person that does that. When people are repenting and they're trying to repent for their bad behavior, and I can work with them. If they want to be rehabilitated, so to speak, you did something very terrible and you want a second chance. I'm big on forgiveness, but I'm not big on wickedness. I just can't be. And so, Ray, do ask God, honestly, get down on your knees tonight, Ray. Ask God to open up your eyes, open up your mind, your body, your soul, and start allowing you to receive truth. Because as a woman, you should not be on social media advocating for these kind of things that Donald Trump represents. You would not like it if your significant other, and I said this, was doing these things. If you had a child, you had a son and you were raising them, you wouldn't want your son to be doing these things. So if it's not good enough for your son, your significant other, then it shouldn't be good enough for Donald Trump. And that's a huge W, Zeus. And that's free game. That's free game I just gave you. You can't say I spread hate on this platform, but seriously, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get up out of here. Take care. I'll be back tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. All right, take care. And we are out of here. Thank you, everyone. All right. Sorry for the short week, but I got to shake and bake out here, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody got to get it. All right. It's really Big Zeus. That sounds good. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We'll just play that. There you go. All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. We'll just play that. Have a great rest of your morning.
Gotta wake the chain up. Get injected with some power. Pull some strings.
We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen.
Came from the trenches, now we ballin' at the top. Rizzler energy, presidential, watch the odds.
I gotta figure out where the multi-guest feature went. Thank you, everyone.
1600 on the throne, out here looking brilliant. No skibidi.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. I didn't wear green. W. Marissa.
Bustin' moves, no mid, got the game in a choke.
Yeet it down,
now my legacy hitting is bespoke.
From the Bay to DC, I keep them on their toes. Level up with the blueprint. Watch the empire grow.
Goes to all the face, now my circle A1.
Move to 100, this race is already won.
Bet I'm dripping, got the power, vision crystal clear. Stick with ambition, yeah, making history right here. Ops talking wild, but they cannot touch the throne.
Posted in the Oval Office, trapping in the zone. Somebody got to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, my aura is
built to the last. Snap with the plan, moving chess, not checkers. Presidential flex, got my game on my necklace. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. You like the Biden song? Don't worry, I can switch it up.
Never stop. No cap, we live.
Yeah, flow on 1,000, 100, 1600 vibes. Presidential, we found it. Posted in the Capitol, moving like I own the block.
Riz game presidential, got the nation in a lock. Got the Amex, yeah.
100, no facade. Drip celestial, shining brighter than a star. Think about that.
Got the vision.
HD, clear, flat, with the move, turn your dreams into chandeliers. Ops, stay lurking,
but they folding under all the pressure.
1600, I'm the one flexing, I'm the new successor. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Trap sold in the White House, DC is the town. Woke up in the mansion, views from the East Wing. Prime presidential, residential, got the poles in the climb, no cap. I'm the vibe, turn the calm in the storm. Got the world dropping bombs like I'm reading out a song. They can't even follow that, even if they try it. Have a great rest of your morning. Yes, be safe out there. Drill, baby, drill, Curtis. Busted off the charts, got the game in a trance. Drip too wavy, yeah, make you wanna dance. 69 in Pennsylvania. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back. All right, Big Zeus got to get up out of here. See you, Jim. I see you. It's a short show.